someone loves you more than you know. That person is really the best way I can describe it is they have such an admiration for you and so much love in their heart that it is overflowing, okay? Spirit was giving me the analogy of your one soul in two bodies, or maybe two souls, but of the same blueprint, if it makes sense. If there was a galaxy and there are all these planets, you would be made of the same stardust, okay? That is what I was hearing. And it's like you met them and you had a lot of walls built up, okay? You really had a lot of walls. Spirit is showing me this analogy of like, you have these walls, and even with the people you were in a relationship with, you were still keeping up those walls. And I don't even think that you did this on a conscious level. However, it felt as though no one had ever really seen you for who you truly are underneath, and that person just came in, and it was almost like a shock. I was seeing the first card that came up from that oracle deck was change, and I was seeing like your world was literally shaken, okay? It was flipped upside down to the degree that it's like there's a life before them and there's a life after them. This is the effect that they're having on you, but not in a bad way, really. You're both growing together. You're both growing and evolving in this type of love. And let's be honest here, let's be real, okay? This is not a normal, everyday kind of love. This is not your normal romantic connection. It's giving twin flame. It is giving a soul bond. And Spirit, help me out. Let's tap into this energy a little bit more. Yeah, oh my God, the Fool, yes. With change. This confirms exactly what I had to channel. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. You're currently both in an era of a new beginning. And I'm sensing that there is, like when you're starting fresh, when you're letting go, you're currently releasing old cycles. You're going through a complete shift. And in a way, you're a little bit afraid. You're a little bit, I don't want to say that your faith is tested, but you're going back and forth in your mind a lot, and your twin flame, your counterpart, wants you to rely more on them, on their energy. I'm really seeing them. They're embracing you energetically. They really are saying, I want you to know that everything's gonna be all right, So a couple days ago, I was hearing randomly on the radio a song from my own twin flame journey, and it is If You Believe by Sasha. Hold on, let me see. I have the lyrics right here. Let me just read a little bit, because I kind of had this vision or moment where I was like, okay, this is kind of the collective energy. You're doubting, you're in a way you would like to have some sort of stability in your life, and your twin flame is saying, hold on and keep the faith. And if you believe, if you truly believe, if you tap into that unconditional love, and you know what I'm talking about, in a twin flame connection, you really experience the highest form of love that you could ever even think of. It's like unspeakable. If you tune into that, you're grounded, you're centered. It almost feels like you're being held. And the lyrics are, if you believe in love tonight, I'm gonna show you one more time. If you believe, then let it out. No need to worry, there's no doubt. And what I'm getting here is really this, just take a breath and breathe out and let it be. Let it be. Let it be whatever you're letting go right now. You're getting a huge opportunity from Spirit. You're getting the opportunity, almost like I'm hearing your cups are gonna flow over in more than just one area of your life. But in a way, what do we need to do to change? What does it take, to change our life? Well, the willingness, first of all, but also the trust and faith in the new beginning, even though you can't really see where you're headed. Just like the fool stepping out into the unknown, you're also venturing out into the unknown, but you're not alone because your twin flame's always with you. That connection you have is transcending time and space. And Spirit is really, this is kind of the energy you're in right now. It's like a heaviness I'm picking up on. Spirit wants you to know that when you tune into love, okay, let's really tune into that twin flame love. To me, it just is, okay? There are no strings attached. There are no conditions. There is just an unspoken bond between you, but it's also steady, okay? It's calm, it's ease. Before, sometimes we're kind of like out for it, we're in for the thrill, okay? Sometimes when we're in those relationships that challenge us, that are lessons, that help us to grow, we're, not that we're doing it consciously, but we kind of enjoy the ups and downs, okay? We want to stir a fight, or we want to go down to then go up again. And in a way, in this connection, it's more a steady line. It's a feeling. I was getting the analogy of you were running all your life, like running. You met them and you suddenly, there was no running anymore. There was no running, no hiding. And you could now be who you are. You were able to be who you are, who you truly are. But you're still on the way of finding out who that really is. And that is essentially the purpose of this. Like you're doing this together. And Spirit was giving me, okay, so I was getting songs again, as always. Okay, so let's see. It's a little bit all over the place, but Spirit wanted me to give you this. There is a song, kind of shows what your twin flame is going through right now, because I'm sensing that they too, even though you might not see it fully, there is a veil between you. There is a sense of, there's not a silence, but it's just very, you're very much both in a hermit mode right now. Nevertheless, your twin flame right now is really changing and shifting, and we need to remind ourselves that we are going through cycles simultaneously, not always at the same time. Spirit, give me a little bit of clarification as to what they're currently going through. We're not always going through that at the same time necessarily, where it's like it needs to happen in the same month or so. But yes, working in silence, working steadily, working on yourself, even if it's not showing within a couple days, but you keep going, you still keep going, you keep showing up. Earlier I was getting this, thank you, Spirit. Keep showing up regardless of your mood, okay? This is how you make progress in life, and that is the energy that I am tapping into from your counterpart. It's a very mature, very reliable energy as well. The message that they were giving me through song was, I want you to know that I'm still trying. You see through my bad, I have my moods. When I'm super low, you pull me higher. And they can feel you too. Not just in a way where it's like you can feel each other because you have that soul bond, like on an energetic level, but it's also the way that you change, the way that you shift, the way that you have a courage right now, because you have a lot of courage. I mean, I'm honestly really, really proud of you, and they can feel it. And it's like, this is the most amazing thing about being on the journey. When you change, but for yourself, okay, there's a big difference. You can change because you think, okay, if I do this, then I'm gonna have the reunion with my twin, which, oh my God, the hanged man at the bottom of the deck, are you joking? You can't make it up. This is basically how it feels, okay, to be in that growth period where on the outside, not much is changing. But it's like, I want to finish that thought. I was just carried away with that here. You can change, okay? Because you truly desire to change, because you have made a decision for yourself. I want to change my habits or whatever. I want to cut cords with people, or I want to get myself out of environments that no longer serve me. Or you can try and manipulate your reality and like, you know, where you're like, okay, if I do this, then I'm gonna have, quote unquote, have my counterpart, but that's not what it's about at all. Like, and you both know this, like, you're both very, very mature souls. Like on an evolutionary level, you're very, very mature. You have been through countless karmic cycles in multiple incarnations, and you're, I would really say, on the last stretch where now it's up to taking responsibility for your life in a grounded and mature way. Spirit, give us a little bit more insights. Yesterday, I was watching an episode of Modern Family. Okay, I really love that show. And there was something about a juice cleanse or a juice fast, you know, like getting healthy, getting in shape, really being like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make a drastic change. I'm gonna make a shift for myself because I feel like I needed that right now. And it's coming, this is what they're doing. It's coming from their own motivation. But the reason is you. I'm really seeing them, they're getting up in the morning and you are the first thought. You're the first thought on their mind when they're getting up in the morning, and the last thought, because quite frankly, even if from the outside looking in, sometimes it doesn't look like they're making progress, quote unquote, but you know, the way that we're making progress in life, when we're changing, when we're shifting, it comes from within, because the action that we're taking in life before this, we need to have a change of minds. We need to, in some way, shape, or form, have this enlightenment, you know, with the halo here. It's like that moment where you're like, okay, wait a minute, I want to change it. I want to change that about myself. Because with change, a person, someone can only change if they really, truly desire that themselves. You can't make them change, you know? And I feel like for a long time you desired their shift, but not because you don't love them, but more so because you know this is what it's like to be on a twin flame journey. You just know the potential. You know what that person can do and can be, and not because you want them to please you, but it's really because you know that they deserve the best, a healthy life, you know, a happy, healthy life, and that's all you want for them. And they are working on this tirelessly. Spirit is saying, I am getting a change in diet, lifestyle. It's like spring is coming and they are running around and they're doing a bunch of things. Really, kind of, I'm seeing them throwing out stuff. They're cleaning their space. They might even do home renovations or, you know, get new furniture, get a new wardrobe, get a new haircut, get something new. Like something new is coming. And I'm seeing there's a lot of importance in both your lives right now when it comes to the inner and the outer world. I would really recommend for you to right now, by the way, this is what you're leaving behind, and it's wild that that card came up in so many readings recently. This is no more, okay? Just know that. in your relationship, you're not gonna experience this, okay? No backstabbing, no manipulation. That is part of the past here, okay? Okay, so what you're supposed to do right now is you're supposed to kind of bring what you're looking for, you know, when you're looking out into the future, into the next couple of months, where you have big dreams, you have big goals, and Spirit wants you to take all the clutter. I am talking about clutter, real clutter, like stuff, okay? All the piles of stuff that we have around the home, all the old stuff, like old stuff you don't need anymore, but also the energetic gunk and junk, okay, that we're carrying around. And you're meant to really let it go, release it, get it out. Maybe even do a cord cutting. I'm not joking. I've done that recently. It's amazing. Like, do a cord cutting, do a spiritual bath, do a cleanse, get yourself some Palo Santo, okay, or sage or whatever you're using. Open the windows, let that in, let these intentions in for your change, for your new beginning. Because honestly, what you're doing right now is mirrored back in the experience of your twin flame. I can guarantee you are so impatient. Often, I've been there, okay? I've been there. It's been 2.5 years, and it's not always, you know, the easiest. But there just comes a moment where you just realize it's not about controlling anything in your physical reality. It's not even that much about your counterpart, even though, yeah, of course, I get it. You love that person, you know, but it's about you're still the same soul in a way. You know, what you do to yourself, the way that you find that love that you wish to experience on the outside within yourself, because that is where it is truly coming from. So that love, it's really wild, but once it clicks, it really clicks. It's like when you look at your twin flame and you think about your twin flame and you realize that love that I feel is actually coming from me. That is my love, you know, and no one can take that from you. No one and nothing could take that love from you. And now it's kind of like, if you pour that into yourself, okay, is what Spirit is saying, thank you. If you pour that into yourself, it does not get lost. It's not like, okay, if I pour that love into myself, there is less, because it suddenly goes to waste, you know, because it disappears. It's quite the opposite. It's getting more. It's getting refined. It's circulating. You're pouring that love into yourself, and suddenly you're gonna realize that other people are gonna show up for you in ways you would have never experienced. And your twin flame can feel every shift that you're making on the inside. Spirit, is there anything more before I close this out? And Spirit is saying the worst is over. Hold on, that card just flipped. Yeah, victory. The worst is over. Honestly, you have been through, both of you have been through a dark night of the soul recently, which many people don't know it, but you can have multiple dark nights of the soul. And it's not because you're failing. I just want to point it out. It's not that you're going through this again because you've done something wrong along your journey. It's really for you to grow and evolve even more into the person that you actually already are. And the way this came through was through another song. Hold on, I'm just gonna read you a little bit. I take a bad situation, gonna make it right. In the shadows of darkness, I stand in the light. It takes disaster to learn a lesson. You're gonna make it through the darkest night. Some people betray one and cause treason. We're gonna make everything all right. So what I'm sensing here is that they have recently also gone through a tower moment, is really what I'm feeling. Okay, so that moment. But not in relationship to you, but more so there was something externally that disrupted this equilibrium, okay? That you're kind of like, in a way, you're like sun and moon, yin and yang, you together are an energy circle, if it makes sense. Like, you're a closed circle, and sometimes, because you can feel your twin's energy and because you're both kind of mirroring each other, you can feel when you're both going through something. And this is why I feel the most important thing that we can do is to tap into unconditional love and just rest in, when you're coming back to that core of it all, where you can just feel that you're being protected, that you're being loved for who you are, that there is an unwavering presence of calm and gentle love that surrounds you. I know it sounds woo-woo, but that is what it feels like, and when you can return to that, Judgment at the bottom of the deck, when you can return to that, you're being protected. Your love is protected. And that is, honestly, it's like the end and the beginning is always love, okay? And if you would like to tap deeper into this, I have a whole workbook or guide that I've written on telepathy, how to connect to your person, your counterpart on an energetic level, kind of make that connection through your heart space even stronger. It has practical exercises and so much that will help you to understand what is going on behind the scenes. And most importantly, get out of this. Sometimes we're feeling frustrated or we're focusing overly on the physical instead of just resting in love. And if you're interested, the link is down below. I also offer one-on-one guidance calls. They are a safe space for you to discuss whatever, whether you want to manifest, quote unquote, manifest love, draw in love, or you want more clarity on your twin flame journey. You're welcome to book a call. They are open now and they are on sale for a limited time. But let's jump into, because that video is already 19 minutes in as far as I see it from here. So let's jump into the songs really quick. So the first one is Sasha, If You Believe. It's a classic. It's from the 90s and I've loved it as a kid. It's just, that song always makes me feel good, and you will feel, when your twin flame is communicating with you, it's like there's always a gentle nudge of like, hey, it's gonna be all right, it's gonna be fine. And I want you to really tune into this in the next couple of days. The next song is Rancid, Fall Back Down, and the last one is Coast Modern Guru. Okay, that was it for today. My voice is a little bit hoarse. I've been filming a lot, guys. Bear with me. If you don't want to miss out on more videos, of course, you know what to do. Subscribe. I am really grateful for all of you. This community has grown so much, and it just makes me honestly so happy to read all your comments, your feedback. I appreciate this community here. And well, let's just keep it going, let's just keep it going, keep it growing. Drop your favorite twin flame song down below. I'm always curious to read them, and I will see you around in the next one.